Hey guys, welcome to the 11th tutorial video of this series. Today we'll be talking about HTML empty elements. In our usual tradition, I'll just create a new file and call it 11 like this with an hyphen and say HTML, I think empty. Let me just add another hyphen, empty elements.html. Alright, and I'll tap enter to create the file. Then I'll also hold down Shift+1 as usual so I can get the templates, so I don't have to bother myself with writing them afresh. Alright guys, so I'm just going to change the title of the document also and call it learning HTML. Sorry, I can't see my keyboard clearly. I don't know the position of my mic. Learning HTML elements. Alright, like this, empty element rather, learning HTML empty element, and I'll just save, Ctrl+S, and I'll right click on this and reveal in File Explorer, double click on this to open the file in our browser, and here we go, learning HTML empty element. Alright guys, and what are HTML empty elements? HTML empty elements are elements that do not have any content or closing tags. They don't have any content inside and they don't have a closing tag. They are usually self-contained and they serve a particular purpose, like maybe inserting media, line breaks, metadata. We'll be talking about line breaks and horizontal row, that's HR and BR, but there are many of them. For example, now look at this meta tag. Now you can see meta caret sets with UTF-8. This is an empty element. You can see there's no content inside, unlike the title where we have a content inside, right? That's learning HTML element, and it also has closing tags, you can see. But here in this, you can see this meta tag. Look at this meta tag also. It doesn't have a closing tag, you can see. Alright guys, so I'll just give a few examples of empty element, and I'll just maybe throw in a comment and say examples of HTML empty elements like this. Alright, so we'll be talking about BR first. BR means line breaks, right? Alright, and I'll show you how to use a line break. A line break inserts a line after a paragraph. For example, now we have a paragraph like this. Remember we talked about paragraph 2 tutorial videos ago, and I'll just generate, let's say, 40 words like this, and I'll Ctrl S and come and refresh. You can see I have this, right? Okay, what happens when I create another paragraph again, or let's say I copy this paragraph, right? I copy this and I paste it just below it like this, and I'll save, Ctrl+S, and when I come over to my browser, what happens? You can see I have a line space between it, right? Okay, now what happens when I decide to remove this, and just combine them together, so they are into one single paragraph. Alright, so even if I put in an empty space like this, alright, let me just format this well, so we'll see what will happen. Alright, Ctrl+S, and let me refresh. So you can see this paragraph, it's modeled up together. How do we now introduce a line in between these two group of sentences, right? So this is where line break comes. I mean, I don't want to throw in another paragraph, but I want this space, despite the fact that I have so many space in between this group of sentences, Now that doesn't mean it's going to be displayed on the browser. You can see these spaces in between them, it's not showing, right? It's not showing. This is just meant to be shown in the code editor. Line break. And how do we define a line break? I'll just have to type BR like this and tap enter. You can see this is an empty element, right? And let's see what's going to happen. When I come over to the browser and refresh, you can see there's a space now, right? There's a break between the group of sentences. And the more line breaks you add, the more spaces you get. Now let's say I've added 2 more, and I come over here, and I refresh. You can see we have 2 line spaces between the group of sentences. This is the first group of sentences, and this is the second group, right? Okay, now this is what the line break does. Now that's for line break. Now let's talk about the next one, which is horizontal row. An horizontal row is used to insert a horizontal line, you get. So now let's say I want to have a line, a straight line coming under this, right, or coming under this, you get, to separate these two group of sentences together. Now I'm just going to throw in something they call HR, right, and tap enter, and this is horizontal row. So it's just on its own and doesn't have a content in between. Like you can see this paragraph, it has opening tag and it has the closing tag, and here you can see in between it is the content, right? But these tags, you can see the line break, the horizontal row, they are self-contained, you get. They don't have a closing tag, neither do they have content in between. And now let's see what's going to happen when we save, Ctrl+S, and come over to refresh. And wow, you can notice we have what we call a line, horizontal line, right, that separates this word. Now I can come over and take out two line breaks out of this, and Ctrl+S, and then when I refresh, you can see these lines, horizontal line just in between the group of sentences, right, the first group and second group, right? Okay guys, so now other examples of HTML MTL elements are, we have link, which we did, I think, the last series before. We also have image, that's IMG, which we'll be talking about in coming series. Alright guys, that's it for today, and I hope we've learned something. Thank you all for watching, and do well to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all, and bye.